31 minutes, 16 seconds. Distance 4 miles. Average pace 7:49 per mile.
The diagnosis by Dr. Luis Valenzuela from the Mets Clinic in Santiago de Chile, which stopped my 3 years and 21 days of running every day, was forceful. You obviously have an internal femoral tibial osteoarthritis with degenerative tear of the internal meniscus. Also, chondral injuries in the patella, bone edema of the medial femoral condyle, and medial tibial plateau due to joint wear and overload. In simple words, the MRI results show how badly I messed up my left knee, mainly due to a clear case of the fine line between stubbornness and stupidity. In hindsight, I should have stopped running when the pain and discomfort began on March 15, 2023. But out of my stubbornness, rather than my determination or discipline, I ran for 5 months in pain. First trying to reach the 1,000-day mark and then the 3 years. The additional 21 days only confirmed my lack of good sense and probably made things worse. Pain is not normal. Another orthopedic doctor once told me during a casual conversation in a bar in St. George, Utah, after I have insisted on running for a couple of months despite the discomfort. Long before that, when I reached the 2-year mark in August of 2022, Dr. Scott Lang, University of Central Florida's professor of family medicine, warned me, never run in pain. If you have muscle or joint pain when you run, ice it and rest. If the pain persists for more than a week, see your doctor. Obviously, I didn't pay attention until August 21st, 2023, at the end of my annual ski trip to Chile, when I finally decided to have my left knee checked by Dr. Valenzuela, who after a quick visual and tactile examination immediately determined that an MRI was necessary. Of course, between the time from the end of the MRI and the time I received the diagnosis, I went for a run. The last run, 2.75 miles in 30 minutes and 36 seconds, because I have sensed that the end of the streak was approaching under medical prescription. The truth is that the discomfort never reached a point of paralyzing me, although between March 15 and August 21st, 2023, I reduced the distance and speed of each run, thinking that the pain will reduce. That didn't happen, but it didn't get worse either. Dr. Valenzuela attributed this to the fact that by constantly exercising for 1,115 days in a row, I was able to build enough muscle mass on the whole leg to absorb most of the impact on my knee. Now the next challenge is to dedicate myself with the same intensity to a rehab program and incorporate other athletic activities without impact to the knees to maintain the physical condition and weight, about 165 pounds. Those two were undoubtedly the biggest benefits of the running streak, which began on August 1st, 2020 during the COVID pandemic, thanks to a private Facebook group to get out of the lockdown. In all, I ran 3,257.3 miles, an average of almost 90 miles per month, which is the equivalent of driving directly from Miami to Seattle. All this despite the fact that I have never felt like I'm a real runner. If I was, I would have followed the 3 R's advice of the expert: replenish, rest, and recover, and not become a slave of the streak, as running coach Adolfo Salgueiro once told me. But that's exactly what I did. I never warm up before a run, nor did I stretch at the end. I have never undergone a serious training program to achieve a specific goal. Nor did I pay any attention to the advice not to wear old worn shoes or to buy ones specifically molded to my foot. As a consequence, I've never improved my times or distance in these 3 years. And as I have said before, and I repeat now, I actually don't like to run. I think it's boring, so much that during the last few months of the streak, I tried to entertain myself by picking up trash on the road, sometimes at an astonishing rate of 10 plus pieces per mile.
Time 21 minutes 48 seconds. Distance 2 miles. Average pace 10:54 per mile.
Thanks to that, and in a very unscientific way, I also verified now that Modelo Especial is indeed the most popular beer in the United States, given the number of empty cans that I have found in recent months during my runs. Also, I started stopping to say hello to all the dogs I saw on the trail, perhaps to justify my slower pace and to give my knee a rest, until one of them bit me on the left thigh, something completely unrelated to the injury, which eventually ended the streak. Now, the benefits. I always appreciated what happens when you run every day. You feel better physically and mentally. You sleep and work better. You can eat and drink more. And you always feel good after every run. Unless, of course, you get bitten by a dog. Also, it was great to receive encouragement from other runners and non-runners, and even from companies like New Balance and Apple, who send me products as an incentive to keep the streak alive. And for car brands that celebrated some of the streak's milestones when they fall on the same date of their test driving programs around the world. I also had the pleasure to run in 16 countries and over 100 cities. But what I enjoyed the most was the daily challenge of finding the time and place to run every day, despite the complications of constant travel as part of my job as an automotive journalist. The longest run, almost 9 miles, was in Munich, Germany, September 2021, and not because I wanted to run the distance, but because I got lost. The fastest was a 10K at a pace of 7 minutes and 58 minutes per mile at home. On December 31st, 2022, I checked out to run at 11:30 to complete the daily 5K, and then did another one straight right at midnight and ending on January 1st, 2023, the start of the new year.
Time 35 minutes 26 seconds. Distance 4 miles. Average pace 8:51 per mile.
Several times I landed at an airport and got out of the car on the way to the hotel so I could run before the end of the day. I also ran in many airports before and after flights.
Keep going, Javier.
So in the end, it was a good run while it lasted. But I have a few points to consider now that it's all over. First, I do not recommend this to anyone. It is very easy to get addicted, even slaves, to your personal achievements like this. And most importantly, as I have learned the hard way, it's essential to recognize that running every day for an extended period of time not only can, but surely will cause injury sooner or later. In conclusion, listen to the experts and to your body. Take adequate rest to prevent exhaustion and possible long-term health problems. Without a doubt, the streak of 3 years and 21 days was an extraordinary journey, which some have even called an example of determination, discipline, and the pursuit of personal goals. But it's also to remember that the physical conditioning process of each individual is unique and must be approached with care and respect for your own body. So maybe I will run again someday, but I will never run again every day for 3 years and 21 days.
Workout completed. Time 32 minutes 19 seconds. Distance 3.54 miles. Average pace 9:07 per mile.
Hey, it's Mo Farah. You're making me feel lazy over here. That's it, I'm going for a run now. See what you did?